everyone, it's Desiree, day 21. Oh, it's getting sadder each day. Today I'm going to feature a background stamp by Simon Says, and it is called the Winter Floral Mix background. I'm also going to be using a sentiment from their Tiny Words Christmas. I want to make a 5x7 card. This background stamp is not 5x7. It's usually, just around 6x6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the panel that I have here of black cardstock, and I've cut it down to 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. I placed my background on an angle, and it just fit in my stamp positioning tool. I did use my Brutus Monroe sticky mat, which I'm getting used to and also loving it. I'm pulling in my Gold Recollections embossing powder, and now I'm just going to heat set that. So yes, this is sitting on this panel crooked. Now, for those of you that have been here for a while, you do know that I do like the crooked look. Okay? But it's because the stamp was 6x6 and I want to make a 5x7 card. What I'm showing here is you don't always have to use colored pencils. You don't always have to use watercolors or alcohol markers. Again, everything we do in this craft is an investment. Now, colored pencils may be your thing. They are mine. Colored pencils are my medium of choice. But coloring something like this, yes, it can be relaxing. Can also be time consuming. Now, you can also do this with a white colored pencil. So if you have that, you can do this. You may not get the same effect. What I'm using here is a white chalk pencil. This is chalk. And all I'm doing is putting it on any side. I'm not worried about light source. I never do worry about light source. And I'm using a blending stump, or they can also be called tortillons. That, to me, that's difficult. So I just say blending stumps, whether they're solid or hollow. And I'm blending that chalk out. It's giving a shaded effect. This is something that you can do, and in your spare time, I mean, by all means, you could stamp all these out, do all these cards in production style, and then sit in front of the TV and just add your chalk color. I love this look. It's almost a monochrome look. We don't need to have every color on our cards, but just having this black, this gold, and this white, it makes this card pop. And for me, it adds a level of elegance. So to me, this is an extremely elegant card. And in no time, you get this beautiful effect that pulls out the design that you have here. And again, I am not worrying about light source. I am just adding colors in an area, or that white chalk in an area, to say, okay, this is a leaf. So I'm adding the color to the base of that leaf. Here for the flower, I'm just going around the center, and I'm going to pull that out. Then I'll look at each of these individual petals, the one with the dotted lines, and make those darker. Add more chalk to that area. And then I'm going to come outside of that and add just a lighter touch of chalk. So you get this gradient effect that comes out, but you can still see the poinsettia that's sitting there. Chalk pastels are wonderful. They fall into the realm of mixed media. Now you can see I have a very short one here. This is from my Zentangle kit that I have. For those of you that do know, I am a certified Zentangle teacher, and I will be getting back to it. But usually every Sunday we tangle together. So that's why my pencil looks like that. You can find them in regular length. But a white chalk. I mean, if you have your dark cardstocks, it looks absolutely gorgeous. Because it just adds that touch of color to it. Chalk pastels do come in many colors as well. So if this is something that's interesting to you, I have pulled this in before. And for 2023, you will see it again. They can do a lot, and it can be that medium that's kind of in between everything. So here I'm just finishing up this last poinsettia and just letting that chalk shine through. Now with the chalk that's left over on my blending stump, I'm just going through the edges just to highlight those poinsettias once again. So what do we do with this? Because it's sitting on there crooked. Let's add some gold mirror cardstock strips. And we're going to add one to the top and to the bottom. Now, at first, when I was putting this card together, I was not going to add a sentiment. Yeah. I'm just like, where am I going to put it? It's going to be too big. I don't want to cover this. I want everyone to see this. And again, we put time into that. I hate covering it up with a sentiment. That's why I pulled in my Simon Says stamp. Tiny words. But again, I was still in the mindset, I'm not going to put a sentiment on my card. I did put this on this is a Tim Holtz gold mirror cardstock panel that was cut to 5x7, and I'm going to set that onto my card base. I'm resting my hand there so that I can hold it down for the glue. So here I chose my sentiment, Christmas blessings. Of course, the whole card's put together, so you can best be sure that I let my heat gun run for like a minute and a half. I had to make sure that it wasn't going to warp. Just put my embossing powder right in that corner. I'm going to clean off the excess with a dry brush. Make sure that there's no specks, and you can see, I mean, I'm hanging out there. And again, this video is really sped up. And even still, when I'm doing that, I'm putting it to the paper, I'm taking it away, and then I'm heating it up. And it did a great job. I did not get warp. So that's awesome. And I chose Christmas blessings, like I said. So I hope you enjoyed this card. I hope I gave you an idea on another type of medium that you can use to color with. It adds some great shadows when it comes to your images. As always, the products that I use will be listed down below as long as they're still available. But again, I encourage you, dig into your stash. Use these techniques for what you have. Have any questions? Make sure you leave those down below, and I will make sure I get back to you as soon as I can. If you haven't yet, I'd love for you to subscribe and hit that thumbs up. And thank you so much for stopping by and spending this little bit of time with me today. Enjoy your day. Enjoy creating your art. And know that that is what you are creating. But most of all, remember what's most important. Always be creative. And I will talk to you all in the next one. Till then.